Welcome!
Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and part 10, aka the third to last part of What If a Cell Jr. Survived. Before we get into it, be sure to go to the Omniverse's homepage, where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, both Google Docs, and everything else the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around and turning on all Omniversal notifications, and commenting future requests and expectations in the comments section. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time, with Universe 7 in its entirety being introduced and laid out for Dragon Ball Super after the events of Daima, with Dabura going to the Demon Realm with a purpose, and Gohan and Cell Jr. on their path now, and everyone lining up for what is going to be a very dramatic turn of events for Dragon Ball Super. Beerus and Whis come in search of the Super Saiyan God, and the very much like opening part of the film takes place the same exact way. Goku still fights Beerus, but he gets whomped. And as for Vegeta and everybody else at the party and everything, that goes pretty much exactly the same as per canon. And the only thing that's different is that Beerus and Cell Jr. have an interaction, and Beerus finds it intriguing that the spawn of an android with Saiyan DNA and the journey that this one's been on? Who knows? Even if he doesn't know about the Super Saiyan God and he has Saiyan DNA, maybe he could be Beerus's rival. Then Beerus and Boo get into a fight about the pudding, and all hell breaks loose. Even a stronger Gohan, Boo, and everybody else is no match for even a very suppressed Beerus. Vegeta gets angry after Beerus slaps Bulma, but that onslaught is quickly halted after Vegeta's uplifting movement seems to at least have shaken the God of Destruction, but we all know it didn't work out for long. Then Beerus and the Cell Jr. square off, and it actually turns out more of a fight than angry Vegeta. But the Cell Jr. is completely and utterly dumbfounded that not only was Gohan taken care of in a single kick, but he can not even keep up with the level of just overwhelming force and complexity that Beerus offers. He has an answer for nothing that Beerus throws at him. Even after a little bit of the fight seems to go his way, in the end, he was thrown aside. Then Goku arrives, and Shenron's summoned to let them know about the Super Saiyan God, and that 5 Saiyans possessing righteous hearts must formulate their ki into one. Now, originally, this would be the scene where it would go just like canon. You have all the Saiyans, including Videl with, Pan inside her. But we're replacing Cell Jr. with Videl, since Cell Jr. has a righteous heart and he has Cell Saiyan DNA. So, with that in mind, even if it's just Saiyan DNA and he's not a pure Saiyan, he's mainly just the spawn of an android. He's an android. He has Saiyan DNA, and we've never seen, obviously, Cell in a formulated Super Saiyan God circle. So, you've got to assume that it would still most likely work. And for creative purposes, let's just say the Cell Jr. goes in the circle. Either way, it doesn't matter. Goku still becomes the Super Saiyan God and fights Beerus, but Beerus decides to spare everybody. And Gohan and Videl gets to keep the secret about Pan until the moment before she is born. As for Cell Jr., Beerus has given him a new edge. Cell Jr. decides to give himself a new form. So, he trains more ruthlessly and more powerfully than he has ever done. And through all this, he becomes a Super Cell Jr. with much more vast and tough outside layers of his skin, looking more metallic, and a much more amazing aura, and vast arrays of techniques and demonstrations of powers are going to be shown with this look. Gohan gets to train with the Cell Jr., obviously, and they go to Beerus's world, which is obviously where the Cell Jr. gets this. If he was going to get a new form just by himself, he would have done that already. But through Gohan and Cell Jr. training on Beerus's world, not only does this give the Cell Jr. his form, but with Gohan, he achieves Mystic Super Saiyan God. Goku and Vegeta get their forms per canon because not really too much stronger from canon, basically, except Vegeta had more of a head start on 3 than he did in canon, but that's like it. Doesn't really account for anything. Then we get to Resurrection F, and Frieza gets resurrected and his army comes to Earth and begins to play out the same way as canon, except for the fact that Roshi, Krillin, Piccolo, and Tien don't have Gohan there because he's on Beerus's world. But 17 and 18 are there in place to make up for their loss against Boo, their foolish actions, and just overall much better look at 17 and 18. And 17 definitely knows that his island can wait because of how misdemeaning he was, and as well as his sister towards the Cell Jr., and the fact that he went away from an island once because of 18 and the whole Cell Jr. incident, coming back to team with him full time and make up for what he and 18 did. He has plenty of room to take a step away from the island. Tagoma then steps into play and begins to give the fighters a hard time. But then Gotenks comes out of nowhere, does his thing, but then that gives Ginyu a chance to swap bodies with Tagoma. And then he begins to give the fighters a run for their money. But with 17 there, it's a whole different story. His barrier, his moves, his array of skill set, he just throws one ultimate barrier punch. 18 takes leverage, as well as everybody else. Ginyu's done. Doesn't even need Vegeta this time. Goku and Vegeta, and as well as everybody else, then make their way to the battlefield. They then get to Goku fighting, which gets broken up by Vegeta and then Frieza. Then they go about their Super Saiyan Blue forms, and everything pretty much goes per canon up until the point where Vegeta has Frieza on the ground. And just before he's about to blast him away to nothingness, he feels the ground crumble because Frieza is about to destroy the planet. But this time, time doesn't need to be reversed. Gohan and Cell Jr. knew instantly Frieza was going to pull a stunt like this. So instead of Goku doing something or Vegeta realizing too little too late, Gohan and Cell Jr. team up for a tag team Kamehameha wave and incinerate Frieza. Goku, after this, achieves Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10. A little bit easier, but not over the top much easier. Like I said, him and Vegeta aren't really that far off from canon. It's Gohan and Cell Jr. and everybody else that have really excelled in this story. Mainly those two. Gohan achieves Mystic Super Saiyan Blue, and Cell Jr. perfects his Super Cell Jr. state. Then Champa and Vados arrive, and the whole idea for the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament comes into fortitude. And who's going to fight in it, you might ask? Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cell Jr., and Piccolo. There's going to be no Monica because you really think there's a need for Monica in this story. Really hasn't been yet. Really hasn't been a need now, so why would there be? So we get to the Nameless Planet. Goku beats Butama the same way, but then Frost catches him off guard with a poison needle. Piccolo gets caught off guard by the needle too after putting up a valiant effort. Vegeta knocks Frost out in one punch. Then he demonstrates showing Super Saiyan 2 Kaba, and then one punches him with blue. Then he fights Vegeta, gets out of the hole, trying to cage him in with flames and exposed air, insults him, knocks him out of the ring, and then he fights against Hit, but even before realizing Hit's move or attempting to figure out his powers, he gets knocked out. Goku and Hit have the same exact fight that they did in canon, leading to an almost even encounter, but then Beerus and Champa start arguing, and Goku just bows out because he knows Hit's holding back. Then the Cell Jr. steps into play, saying that, I didn't think I would get a chance to demonstrate my power, especially against an assassin from Universe 6. Hit knows right away that this Cell Jr. has to be the strongest guy besides Goku and that boy Gohan on the team. So, even though he's injured from his fight with Goku, Hit's still going to put all he's got into defending himself. Cell Jr. throws a special beam cannon. Hit time skips through it. But then Cell Jr. shows his training and his Super Cell Jr. training, he can perceive Hit's time skip. And especially since he's injured, it's much more caught off guard. And just the Cell Jr. is that much more on point than Goku is with the time skip. So it's almost nothing to him. It's catching him a little bit off guard because he didn't deal with it yet. But once he starts to get the hang of it after that special beam cannon misses, he throws death beams like crazy in every single direction. And Hit cannot stop this. And then Cell Jr. throws a Neo Tri-Beam, incinerates the ring, and overall just knocks Hit out. Then Goku meets Zeno, and that whole encounter plays out. And the end of the Universe 6 vs. 7 tournament. It's concluded. We're not getting Copy Vegeta, obviously. And as for the Goku Black Saga and Zamasu, you might ask, since there's room to do it in this story, because I've done it with Gohan Black before, and at least covered it, in small portions, but never went about it, big-wise besides Gohan Black and everything, and Gohan Black Beast. Is it going to be touched upon here? Well, no. Because you have the group, obviously, but you also have a much stronger Gohan who's actually active for the Goku Black arc, and you have Cell Jr. We're still getting Goku Black and Zamasu, and it's obviously still happening because Trunks time traveled and all the other things happened, more or less. But Goku Black's no freaking match for our group in this timeline. Zamasu would get sealed, and present Zamasu would get Hakkai'd. So overall, it's not that much a big deal to be talking about the Goku Black timeline in this story. As for future Zeno, he stays in the future timeline, while Zeno remains in his timeline, starting to get bored, especially without a teammate or, a friend. Trunks and Mai are much happier, considering they actually have way more they actually have people to protect in their timeline, and their timeline's not erased. So, Trunks, knowing this and still thinking about the past with the Cell Juniors, debates on whether or not he should thank Cell Jr. or just attack him. But he decides to thank him, seeing that everybody possesses an opportunity for change. And the Cell Jr. can do it. He has hope that his future, no matter how bleak it's ever gotten, will always find a way to pull through. And the Cell Jr. says, couldn't have said it better myself, Trunks. You're probably glad that I didn't die in that field with my father. And it would be an awkward conversation, silly conversation, but overall, it would get the point across that Cell Jr. and Trunks understand each other. Now, the Grand Priest prepares by Zeno's orders to get the Tournament of Power in place, What will our team look like in this timeline? Will it almost look the same? Will it be far different because of the implications? Or will our group even get in a situation where they win the tournament at all if all they got is Gohan and Cell Jr. as their main strong suits? Could this give other universes an advantage? Or is the Cell Jr. survival tale going to end a much different way in the final two parts of this story?
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!